Welcome to the Unknown Options, the show that intimately breaks down barriers and displays unique, untapped opportunities. Join us as we explore the unknown options. Hey, my name is Will. Welcome to the Unknown Options. Today we have Tim on. It'll be a great episode. How you doing today, Tim? Tell me a little about yourself.
Hey, Will. Thanks for having me, man. My name's Tim Guercio. I am an immigrant of America, and I moved here when I was 6. Played soccer all my life and played professional and for the Mongolian national team. And after hanging up my boots, I started a couple different businesses in my entrepreneurial journey now, 7 years, 8 years. And one of my most successful businesses is actually a 7-figure side hustle or at least that's what it originally was. And now it's a really great business in which we hang up Christmas lights for
Awesome.
Shopping centers and people and stuff around the nation.
Okay. So I guess tell me a little bit more. I mean, I know you have a full past, but I guess tell me a little bit more about how you got involved into the Christmas light business. I mean, it's very niche, but I mean, tell me I guess the pathway to get to there.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Like I said, after playing professional soccer, I kind of decided all right, I'm no Ronaldo or no Messi. I am good at soccer, but I'm never going to get to that level financially. So I just said, okay, what's my next thing in life? So I always knew I wanted to be a business owner. I went to some college and did business administration, was going to do a course in that, or that's what my degree was going to be. But then after professional career, I was like, okay, should I go back to college or should I just go ahead and start my businesses? So one thing led to another. It was like a digital marketing company, and everything I learned from there, I was opening up a cleaning company, and then one of them was Christmas lights, and I was like, well, I really love Christmas. So then I saw some people doing it in some middle class neighborhoods, and I had some high end clients. So then I was like, well, let me pitch it to them and see if they're interested. And one thing led to another. We kept on getting more demand. And then after a while, I was like, okay, so this is really fulfilling. It brings me joy. And in the business aspect, it's profitable and scalable. So I was like, okay, this checks all my boxes.
Okay. I like that. Quick question. You mentioned passion. How important is passion in the entrepreneurial journey, do you think? I mean, some people sometimes some people say it's not necessary, and some say it is. So what's your take on that?
Yeah. And one thing as I'm growing up, I'm 29 now, almost 30. One thing as I'm growing up in life is people are going to have opinions, and in many cases, you can have success on both ends. You can have a whole family of 5 and be successful and be a millionaire, or you can be single and focus on business and be successful and be a millionaire. It's okay, whatever your belief is, that is either going to stop you or continue to keep you going. So passion is great. You can make money with it. It makes it a little easier because it's something you already enjoy. And as long as you enjoy it, that enjoyment is going to keep you doing the hard work that the entrepreneurial journey is. It's very difficult.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. I definitely agree. I think there's room to run in either aspect, but you have to choose to run the race, honestly. I guess what was the biggest challenge in starting the business, the Christmas tree? Obviously, you had more entrepreneurial ventures, but the Christmas light business in general, what was the biggest challenge in your opinion?
Well, when you do business, at the end of the day, it ends up becoming all the same. It's like a template. Business is a template. And now what you do is what you just put into that template. Okay, so you own a media company. Okay, so I'm going to here's the template of a business, which is marketing, lead generation, lead conversion, and then fulfillment. So those are like the main four things. Do you have your marketing down? Because if you don't get yourself in front of people's faces, or people don't know you exist, it's like, how are you ever going to get business? And then from there, it's like getting their information saying, hey, I do exist. If this is something that can help you, or if this is something you need in life, give me your contact information. And then from there, it's converting them, which is sales. Being able to say, okay, hey, we are the ones that can do whatever you need. Why you inquired about us, we are the ones that can do it for you, and we'll do it the best. And then from there, it's the fulfillment. So whatever money you collect for that service or that product, you better be able to fulfill it, or else you're going to get sued and you're going to become like a phony, whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you? There's a lot of business models, entrepreneur. You can do literally whatever you want. Like, what made you? What would you do differently in the journey to make you more successful? And not say you obviously are successful, but I guess if you were a younger Tim, what would you do differently to speed you up to a point where I mean, maybe where you're at right now, or even further, if possible, because sometimes you can't rush a journey.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it does just become a journey, and like being grateful, one of the biggest things you need to be grateful for, or just one of the biggest things you need to keep in mind, is that you do need to be grateful, because there's people out here aside from America, there's people out here making $20 a day and enjoying life and just being happy with the little they have. Where here, it's like someone's always better than you. Yeah. And I'm in leadership groups. I'm in these groups where, not that I don't belong, but they're making 250, they're making 10 million plus, like it's nothing. They're making 100 million. I'm in the room with them, and it's like, sometimes I don't even have like a say. It's like, they're just like, they don't even take me serious. Yeah. So then you have to find like worth in yourself. Yeah. Like, I know I can help someone go from 0 to 1 to 10 million in maybe like 3 years, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But then it's like, someone else can help them go to 100 million. So I don't know, just being grateful for how far you've come, understanding that, hey, this is my journey, and whatever I put into it, it's going to fulfill me in life. Because if you always compare yourself to somebody else, like I said, there's always going to be someone better than you. It's just, but that's also like a really motivating thing for me as well. So yeah, just be grateful.
Definitely. Okay, I agree with that. How important is, you mentioned leadership, but I mean, I want to go maybe a step, like maybe it's lateral. How important is leadership and mentorship in entrepreneurship, and just really in life in general? Because I mean, I know I've been to a few networking events, and I had a mentor when I first got into real estate, and they were like very helpful in what to do. So how has mentorship and like being in those rooms that a lot of people really don't have accessibility to get into, how has that been helpful to your journey and you growing as a business owner and even man in general?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. One where like people think it's so black and white, or like it's some kind of like big mystery. It's like, at the end of the day, excuse me. At the end of the day, like, I would not be here where I am today without people that's fed into me, without people that's been hard on me, without people that's helped me overcome these challenges. Because one thing in life is like, we only have a short amount of time, really.
Yeah.
And with the time you're not spending with your family or just trying to enjoy life, you're trying to pursue your passions, or most people are just working kind of, hourly basis type thing. So like, as I've gone through life, I've always had, and I really wasn't good even throughout college. Like, I don't think I'd probably be a lot better soccer player if I was being more open to criticism. But after my college career, I said, okay, like, people have gone through what I've gone through and overcome that. or have had solutions for that. So don't reinvent the wheel. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable and look stupid and ask these questions, because at the end of the day, these are the things you need to get done to get to the next level.
Okay.
And leadership is just amazing. Like I'm in these leadership groups, and I've probably paid like probably 50,000 plus for professional selling courses, professional marketing courses, professional business development courses, leadership courses. And the number one thing is leadership. How can you, of the person of your business, the person representing your company and the people around you, how can you be the best person you can, or the best leader or the mentor you can be for your workers? Like some people will bring in workers and just expect them to know what to do. Yeah. Expect them to know the whole business, expect them to go from one place, go to the other like it's nothing and they know everything and you don't have to help them. It's like, no, real leaders take the time to help you get to where you need, help you to understand the business, support you any way you can, and just don't leave you hanging in the dirt, whatever, in the dirt.
I agree. How important is I mean you kind of already said it, but I mean how important is development to your workers? I mean, you're a leader, you've developed your skills over the years. I mean, how is development? I know when I had my company, it was tough, like because I was trying to be in the business and like be their boss per se. So I guess how do you manage the relationships between your workers? Because I mean I don't know your management style or your leader style. Like some people are like very micromanaged. Some people are I mean everyone's different, like you said. So how is your leader style? Then have you had like all-star workers like leave and try to replicate your success in maybe the same business or maybe different businesses?
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sure you get that everywhere, and that's okay. Like, so going back to the first question, which was, well, you said a lot. So what you said, okay, so different, like I've evolved as a person and as a leader, and business has been like one of the best things that's ever happened. Becoming a business owner has been one of the most challenging and best things that's ever happened to me, like in my life. Like it's made me have to be uncomfortable, take the bull by the horns, and just be the person like everybody should be, honestly. Like one thing I've learned is like you have to have the guts to say things, to do things, to be able to invest money knowing, okay, it could be a bad investment. Most people can't invest $100 and be like, all right, that was bad. Like, I'm never doing that again. I'm taking a risk, where I've done spent tens of thousands of dollars on trying to see if something works, or people tell me, oh yeah, it's great, it's all this stuff. And it really isn't. Yeah. So, I've definitely evolved over the years as a leader, and I've learned from other leaders. I've learned what works and what doesn't. But at the end of the day, a business needs results. And if someone isn't bringing you results, and at the end of the day, again, life is about finances. If finances are if the business is making money, the people are making money, and things are going well, you're not going to hear a complaint. Yeah. But the minute you're not making money, the business is not making money, then it really starts challenging people to say, do I want to be here? Does this help me in my own life path as an employee? And is this helping me build a life for myself as the business owner?
And how do you? I mean, this is a perfect topic for right now. I say we're entering recession, but we're already in a recession. How do you coach up your workers to say that you are the place that they need to be in a time like this? Or I mean, it may not affect your business at all, but like in a environment where like it may not be the best for workers or employees.
Say that to me. Okay, go a little deeper into that because are you asking me specifically in my Christmas business or just in general?
I would say in general, I'm gonna go back to Christmas business in a second. So just in general, or I mean, if you have specific examples for the Christmas business, you can do that too. Honestly.
Okay, well that's cool, and that'll be really great because it'll go into something else that like not many people, not that some business owners might have to deal with, but it's rare. Like I own a seasonal business, or we do lighting year round. We do like weddings and events and stuff, but our main business is seasonal. So it's maybe about 4 to 6 months. So then it comes to me as I'm building, and I'm still building businesses to this day. I'm always looking for what can I do to complement Christmas? Or yes, Christmas is its own journey and it's going there and it's going nationwide. And how are we pivoting through that? But one challenge I had to figure out, and as a business owner, and you get paid more dollars. But let's just say this: as a business owner, your main job is to fix problems, find solutions. What do most big inventors and business owners? What are they doing? They're fixing some kind of solution. The people that have the most success fix a solution that have the highest demand. Because without demand, there's no supply to have that demand. So so the thing I had to do was figure out, okay, how do I get reliable people to work for me for 4 months, and how do I build a business around that? So then, as the years go, I'm trying to have people work year round, which we do now. We have a year-round general manager, we have a year-round receptionist, and we have a whole virtual assistant staff team. That's wonderful. But it wasn't always like that. It was always for a good 4 or 5 years. For a good 4 years, it was always just me. Like me. Once the Christmas season started, I'm ramping things up and hiring the people and training people. But now we got to a point where we had people trained already. We have people that we can rely on, and now we just pay them on results. Okay, hey, we have this house. You know how to. Then we go to one of our installers or crews or subcontractors, and we say, okay, you know how to put these Christmas lights up. Like we trust you. We're going to give you a percentage of the money, and you just get the job done, and we'll take care of the rest. So then we're able to have people that come and they get paid on the result of, hey, each house we make this amount or this percentage. And then, I guess that's it. And then obviously salespeople, they get paid on a result like, hey, you close this deal and you get this kind of commission kind of thing. So then it brought me to, okay, we need more result driven employees as opposed to hourly employees.
Okay. That's good. And I mean the dynamic, I work in sales now, and I've been in sales for the last 8 years. This is a really funny question. How is it managing salespeople? I know the ego is it depends on the person, maybe off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
So how is it managing those relationships? I'm sure you have returning employees returning for the season, but how is it? How is the process for managing salespeople, and then even the sales recruitment process? Because every company is hunting for good salespeople, year round, honestly.
Yeah. Well, in that case, it's really okay. One thing we do is we provide the leads, and then we just give them to a salesperson. And we train that salesperson for a good 1 to 2 weeks, and they're asking questions. But then they're also getting continued support throughout the whole season as well. So it's not like, hey, we're going to leave you kind of in the dust, like we're a family, anytime you need something, we're always here, whether it's me or the general manager or the sales manager. But in terms of leads, like in the sales world, they kind of like figure out themselves. Like some people are just happy closing 1 or 2 deals a week or 1 or 2 deals a day, and then they'll call it a day and they don't want leads anymore, or they don't want to work in. Where other people, they're like, nah, give it to me all. And we're like, hey, however you want to work, that's fine, but people are going to get rewarded for their work.
Definitely. Okay, so you provide them an environment where they can thrive and that they're comfortable in. That's like the ideal sales environment. I guess if you were advising a young entrepreneur, like let's say 18 years old, 17, they have an entrepreneurial heart, but maybe they haven't started their first business yet. They're 18. Parents are pushing college or military. I mean, what would you? I mean, we talked about mentorship and leadership. What advice would you give them? And they want to start a business, but they just haven't. Like, what advice would you give them? Like, what business model? Like you said, a template is the same for all businesses. It's just like the input output thing. So what advice would you give to a young entrepreneur, just like you, maybe years back?
You know, my first business that I started and that I started doing research in and was really, I guess, passionate or felt good about was digital marketing. You don't need a warehouse. You don't need anything other than a will in a way. Like I remember selling websites and I had no idea what I was doing, but I had subcontracted it out to a virtual assistant that knew what they were doing. And I was able to manage them to say, hey, get this website to look like this, and they would get it done. And then the customer would be happy. So if it's like social media management, a company might be looking, some companies don't have time, small businesses don't have time to post on their social media every day. But it brings them value, it brings them customers. So you, young entrepreneur, could go out and say, hey, I'll manage your social media for $500 a month. You get a virtual assistant from Upwork or Fiverr for $50 a month, and you give them a template to work with. Hey, here's a little calendar for each day of this month. Put a picture out there, and then put a caption, and then maybe put a hook or some kind of, deal or something, and then post at this time every day. So then now you have this general template that you just use, and you know that a virtual assistant costs $50 a month, and you charge $500. He charges $50. So now you get 5 more customers or 10 more customers. You're making $5,000 a month. Maybe $1,000 goes to workers, and you're able to use $4,000 a month to build your business or to feed your lifestyle, which I hope isn't high with $5,000 a month.
Definitely. Okay. So like the model you would recommend is like kind of like a subcontracting, like, or even a wholesaling. Like that's kind of what I did. Real estate wholesaling, just find something that's cheap, but valuable, and then sell it to someone who finds it even more valuable. Like you're digging for gold and you're selling it.
Yeah. Well, it's a service. Mm-hmm. It's a service. So you're basically a virtual assistant. They are doing work for you, and then you're keeping the customer happy and keeping the relationship happy and just continuing to do that. So the customers getting posts out there and they're making money because they're being seen that they're posting and that they're engaging, all this stuff. They're doing it right. So maybe they're getting 5 sales a month, which equal to $5,000, and they're spending $500 on marketing, which is your company. So they see the ROI there. And then the VA, typically virtual assistants, they value American money way more than Americans value money. Yeah. Because American money for someone overseas is a lot more valuable or just money overseas is more valuable than here in the States. Like you couldn't pay someone $50 a month to manage a whole social media site in America. They're going to be like, that's my lunch.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Lunch,
I've actually used VAs before in the past. Do you have a specific like country where they perform better that you recommend to people? I know I had a few good VAs and people in general in the Philippines, but I know a lot of like trends are going to like Mexico right now. So I don't know, like, but I mean, like, I don't know. I guess it just depends, and Pakistan too.
Yeah, so I've had assistants in all those. Like Philippines, they're really like their English is amazing, and their work ethic is amazing. But they're 12 hours ahead of us or below us. I actually have one virtual assistant. He's our receptionist, and he works 9 to 5 American hours.
Yeah.
And I don't know how he does it. Monday through Friday, he shows up 9 to 5, ready to work, better than most of my. Okay, let me stop. Better than a good amount.
But I mean, we talked about like how the money spends. It spends better over there, and they have, and people in different countries have a better, I guess, grasp on the concept of money. Why do you think like what do you think makes them? I mean, I would say it better workers than the general American. I mean, they like my DAs that I had. They worked extremely hard. And they earned every dollar that I paid them. Why do you think that? I mean, you were born in Mongolia, so like, what's the why is that essentially? Why is that?
Yeah, in those countries, like $500 is like a professor's salary. Like, let's say $500 a month to them, they're living really well. Whereas and all they need is a computer and good English and a skill, whatever that skill you hire them for is. So, whereas for us, like $500 a month, like that gets us nothing.
Yeah, literally.
Where for them, it's like it gives them a whole life that they can live on.
Very true.
How can you like beat that? It's like, okay, people here, yeah.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's interesting.
They appreciate it a little bit more.
They do. Yeah. I like it. I like. There's a lot of bashing on VAs on social media, and people like say like, oh, they're paying them like an unlivable wage. But I mean, if you actually look at like what they get paid for, like there was a post on Twitter, and there's a dude. He was hiring him for. He hired somebody from Pakistan for sales, and the guy was actually an eye doctor, and he was making more as a VA for sales than he was being a whole doctor in Pakistan. So it's like that's anecdotal, but it's like it's real. Yeah, it's real. It's a real people don't see it. It's crazy to see how you're a small business, considered a small business in America, but you're providing like livelihood, you're supporting like whole families in different countries, and then they're committing to their local economy, and that's what makes the world go around. It's like there's like the micro economies in the different countries, in the different states, and then it feeds to the global economy. It's like people don't see that. They see like, oh, you're taking advantage of people, but it's like you're really not. Like it's really not at all. But you don't gotta fight that.
I think people that say that they don't understand. They think they're kind of like maybe they're a little too entitled, which America is pretty entitled.
Definitely, we can get into that too. I mean, there's obviously like America has a culture of success and a culture of losing, a culture of failure. Like America's like they like worship failure in some aspects. How do you think, or how can someone recognize their entitlement in business? Not really in life, but like in business, and really humble themselves. Like, how would you pursue somebody to do? Like, if I was entitled, but I didn't know it. I'm born American. You know what I mean? I grew up here. I don't even know a lot of things that I have access to that another person in a different country or even a different state might not have access to. Like, how would you present that to a person or humble a person into like maybe into your mindset? Because I can tell you're very humble and you have a leadership mindset.
Yeah, thanks for that. Well, we have two different types of people. We have people that have a lot of really great privilege and they don't have to worry about finances. And then we have the other people that's come from nothing and trying to make a new life for themselves. So for people that live very fruitfully, they really need to just like live outside of the country for almost like 6 months to understand that not everybody has bathrooms. Not everybody has food to eat every night. Not everybody can go and work a whole labor job and make $20 an hour. They actually make $20 a day, and they're like risking their whole life for $100 a day. I would even say that's a little. Maybe they're risking their life. They're doing all these construction jobs for $50 a day. Like nobody in America can really survive on $50 a day.
Yeah. Just puts it in perspective. I mean, like obviously there are some jobs that, I mean, people put at risk, like cops and stuff like that, but they're being paid a livable wage. But I was like, in other countries, people are being paid not a livable wage, but they're still working hard. They might be complaining, but I mean, the complaining is valid. Valid in that.
And in America, it's like you earn what you get. Like however hard work and time you put into wanting a better life, you will have that. But in other countries, you can work as hard as you want and maybe dream as hard as you want, but you literally cannot like change the stars, I guess you could say.
Yeah. How do you, I know me personally, I'm a kind of person, like I always want to help somebody homeless, like people in different countries. How do you and I dream of being an entrepreneur that like gives like a philanthropist, like Richard Branson, giving away billions of dollars to people in the future. But how do you handle like making, I guess, a lot of money and then you knowing there are a lot of people who would never even have the opportunity to make like really anything? Like how do you handle that internal, if it is an internal battle? I know I think that's what I'm asking, I'm projecting kind of, but how do you handle that?
Yeah, no, I think just going back to like gratitude and perspective again, like being grateful for the what you have and like being grateful, understanding where you came from and realizing, wow, I have like this beautiful life. That whereas if I didn't change my mindset before, or if I didn't do the same things as I had done to be where I am today, like it could be a whole different life that looks nothing like this. You know, so just really being grateful.
I agree. Gratitude above everything, humility, and then focus on marketing and sales. Like that's like the key to like really business or really success in general. Honestly, sales and marketing can be broken down to really anything, and they can make you successful in really any business, or really even not even business, just really in like a day-to-day job. Because I mean, selling isn't always about like the monetary gain. It's like you're selling yourself, being presentable, exactly. Your brand, your personal brand.
And then really like the biggest root of it all is like your goal, like your aim in life. Like, why do you want to make money? Why do you want to live this luxurious life? Like some people want to live a luxurious life, but they don't want to put the work in. So then they become con artists, or they do things that you shouldn't be doing. So now you're just kind of like not doing it properly.
Yeah.
Where if you really want to do it, you need to do it properly. You need to start managing, know your primary aim, manage your time well, because in a life in America where we can kind of go do anything after work, people decide to play video games, go to the movies, go out and drink. Where now it's really like, okay, if you are the dictator of your life, you should be taking that time to read like Will does. You should be taking the time to watch YouTube courses or any courses like Will does to better enhance his life for the future.
Definitely. I guess if we're at 34 minutes, we'll end in a few minutes. But I mean, I really like what you pointed at. It's like the why. And the why is really like the key. Like you said, it's really the key. Can you give maybe an example of how you constructed your why, like for your Christmas light business, if possible? I hope you didn't disconnect. I'm not disconnected. Not disconnected. Might be having having audio troubles, everyone, but it is fine. Let's see. Stop.